Good afternoon. Hot air balloonists may be facing stricter regulations and more training after the deadly hot air balloon crash last month in Texas. News 13's Jeannie Nguyen is live at Balloon Fiesta Park on what it could mean for pilots and passengers in the future. Jeannie?
Kim, the FAA met with balloon operators today to discuss the risks facing the ballooning community. But even if new regulations do come from the meetings today, Balloon Fiesta says they feel like they're doing enough to keep people safe. 15 passengers and a pilot died last month in Lockhart, Texas, when a hot air balloon flew into a power line, one of the worst tragedies in U.S. ballooning history. As the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta approaches, it has people wondering about the safety of the sport. But Fiesta organizers say attendees, passengers, and pilots have nothing to worry about.
We have a series of checks and balances that we make sure we have the right pilots and the best pilots flying out at Balloon Fiesta.
The series of checks and balances also requires pilots to show their FAA certifications and records. Pilots also need to be able to answer how many times they have flown above 5,000 feet and number of flight hours. All of this is part of the current FAA regulations. Fiesta officials say they keep in close contact with the FAA and believe any changes or new regulations would not disqualify any of the Fiesta's pilots from flying at the event, including the recreational pilots. Local pilot Beth Wright-Smith isn't worried about what may be coming.
For what the majority of balloonists do, I don't think these regulations, the new regulations, will have any effect whatsoever.
Smith has been flying for about 35 years and says the deadly incident in Texas should not deter people from flying, but should encourage people to do their research.
Whether you're flying with just someone that does occasional rides, or if you're flying with a ride operator that does it on a regular basis, you can check out the pilots and the companies in advance and find out what kind of a reputation they have.
And one thing that's been discussed is how airline pilots need to undergo background checks and medical checks, but balloon pilots don't. And there's still no word on when the FAA will announce any of these changes. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Jeannie. Now, Balloon Fiesta starts the first weekend of October. Once again, they expect more than 500 balloons to be there.